Jupiter, the biggest planet in the solar system, 2.5 times larger than all the other planets combined, is the best planet to visit if you want a vacation that is extraterrestrial. Jupiter, by the way, means king in Roman, so apparently it's the best planet if the Romans thought it too. So, if you want to visit Jupiter, you might want to wonder, what is Jupiter's atmosphere like? Well, I'll first tell you what gases it's made of. It's made of tons of gases. There are hydrogen, helium, methane, ammonia, and sulfide. And there are probably a lot more different gases, but those are the major ones. There are also tiny amounts of oxygen, but barely any. So visitors might have a hard time breathing if they don't have an oxygen pack. It also has very strong gravity, high pressure, strong winds from 225 miles per hour to even 1,000 miles per hour sometimes in the red spot. These winds make it hard for life forms to have a peace and quiet, quote-unquote. Jupiter also has cold temperatures of negative 270 degrees on the surface of the clouds. Although the core is theorized to reach a temperature hotter than the surface of the sun from intense pressure. If you want to visit, you would want to wear radiation protective, depressurizing flying suits with ample oxygen supply. You might also want to visit cool storms like the red spot, which is 4.6 times larger than Earth. There are also massive clouds of gases floating up. These moons have some very cool environments too. Wait just a bit, and I will tell you these awesome features. So, if you visit Jupiter, you might also wonder, are you able to walk on the surface of Jupiter? Well, you can actually walk on the surface. There has to be something holding all of those clouds together. The core is actually 10 times the size of Earth. So, humans could stand on the surface if they want to get instantly flattened and burnt to a crisp. It doesn't sound like the best plan to me. I'd rather have a flying suit where I could visit all the clouds from above. But yeah, so it might not be the best idea to try to go down as far as you can. There was one space probe that tried to go down as far as it could. The Galilean space probe was designed to go all against all of the Jupiter's weapons. But sadly, even with no life aboard, it got burnt to a crisp after 144 miles down into the atmosphere. To fly around Jupiter, you would never get bored. Since it's clouds, it's hard to calculate the exact diameter, but it would be around 142,800 kilometers. This would mean flying around the planet would take around 1,428 hours. There would be always more to explore. You could never see all of the clouds and all of the cool features on the top. You would never get bored. A day is only 10 hours, and it's a massive planet, so it would rotate super, super fast. Have fun adjusting to the sleep schedule with 5 hours of light. If you wanted to travel to Jupiter, you'd definitely want to know how far it is from the sun. Jupiter is 4.2 AU from the sun, or 778 gigameters. If you traveled at 54,000 kilometers per hour, it would take 14,407 hours to reach it. At the speed of light, it would take 2,593 seconds, which might seem like a lot of time, but it's actually not that much time. Many missions have traveled to Jupiter. There are many of them, but I probably shouldn't list them all, because that would be a bit boring. But I'll just tell you, there's about 11 different ones that have made it to Jupiter. The Galilean space probe, one of them that were meant to go to Jupiter. It went 144 miles down into the atmosphere, and they are right now sending a probe to Europa to discover if there's any life on there. Jupiter's year is 11.86 Earth years. That would mean I would only be 1.09 years old. So Jupiter goes pretty slowly around the sun. One of the hardest part and the greatest struggles to colonize Jupiter is that you would either have to have a floating ship, which would not be colonizing or living on Jupiter, or go thousands of miles down the atmosphere to get to the surface to live on. Then you would have to create technology to survive intense pressure and insane heat. Now for one of the most exciting parts of Jupiter. Well, Jupiter's moons. Technically it's not Jupiter, but let's get right into it. I could always tell you about those 67 known icy hunks of rock, but I'll just tell you about 3 of the Galilean moons. Yes, I'm missing one, I know 4, but Callisto really has nothing interesting on it. It's just an icy, barren world that's kind of big. So I'll tell you about Io first. Jupiter's moon Io is the most volcanically active world in the solar system, even more active than Venus, with hundreds of volcanoes, some erupting lava fountains dozens of miles high. Io is caught in a tug-of-war between Jupiter's massive gravity and the smaller but exact poles of 2 neighboring moons that orbit farther from Jupiter, Europa and Ganymede. Europa is an icy moon of Jupiter. It is slightly larger than Earth's moon. It is unique in the solar system, being thought to have a global ocean of water in contact with a rocky seafloor. If the ocean is proven to exist in the next visit, Europa could be a promising place to look for life. This is the most promising place in the solar system for aliens, even though it has frigid surface temperatures. Ganymede is the largest solar satellite in our solar system. It is larger than Mercury and Pluto, and 3/4 the size of Mars. Ganymede is the largest satellite in our solar system. And it's pretty cool that it's so large.